In making this template, I used the Align tools, and I thought that this would be a great opportunity to share with you how to utilize those tools. Those tools can be found under the Move tool, and then they're up here on the bar, and you'll see Arrange, which is the first one, and we're not going to look at that right now. That is for bringing things backward and forward in the Layers palette. This is the Align, and you can see that it is grayed out, and that is because we only have one layer selected in the Layers palette. You need to have multiple layers selected for those to be available for use. And here is the Distribute, which we're going to take a look at here first. I've gone ahead and made, taken out all of everything but the journal mats on here for us to play with. That way I'm not scrolling up and down as much on my Layers palette, taking longer in this tutorial. So I'm going to randomly move these out of place. And I'm going to first show you how the Distribute works. And I'm going to just imagine in my head and roughly place these about the same distance apart, and I can see by my eye it isn't. I'm doing that on purpose. But you would put them apart about what you would like them to be. And what the Distribute tool does is it distributes the spaces between all of the elements that you have selected so that they are all equal. And so I'm going to hold down my Control key on my keyboard and then click in the Layers palette to select all three of those layers. You can see there's a bounding box around it. Then I'm going to click Distribute, and then you have a variety of choices. I'm not going to go through all of these. I think you can play with them and kind of figure them out a little bit later. But I'm going to choose left edges. I want it to distribute evenly from the left edges. And watch them move when I click it. And now you can see there's an equal distance between these two and between these two. And that is what the Distribute does. Now I'm going to show you what the Align tool does. So I've got these three selected, and I'm going to leave them selected. And now you can see that they're available under the Align drop-down menu. And for this particular instance, just so you can watch what happens, I'm going to choose the top edge. And you're going to see all three of these align with the top edge of the highest layer. And there you go. So what if this is the highest layer and these two are below somewhere? Then I'm going to select all three of these, and it's going to align with the top layer of this one because it is the highest. And so that kind of gives you an idea of what it's going to utilize. Because I've messed it up, see, I could redistribute it also so that they're all even from the left edges. Now let's say I want this one and this one to also be aligned with this. So if I select hold down my Control key and select the, Thursday, I believe it is the Sunday layer, and the Wednesday layer, though all three of those are selected. And now let's say we're going to observe this, and if I choose the left edges one, it's going to make it all the left edges even with the one having the left edge furthest out. I hope that makes sense. And so here's the one with the left edge furthest out. You can kind of tell which one it is simply because it has the bounding box around it and it's touching the bounding box. So if I move that, you'll see all three of those now line up with this center one. Of course, we're not evenly distributed over here, so that wasn't the choice I wanted to make. Not in this playing around. So now I'm going to let's see, what were those? Sunday, nope. What am I doing? Thursday, Sunday, and Wednesday. So what I want to do is have it align with the right edge of this one. And these two happen to be nearly perfectly aligned because then it's going to align with the layer that is furthest to the right. I hope you're beginning to see how this works. And then that goes right into place. Now I can do this one, which is Friday, and I believe it is Monday. Whoops, Friday and Monday. And now these two are selected. Something else you might try, I mean, in this case I would also do the right, but you can also do vertical centers. And that's not exactly what I wanted it to do, but then it kind of piled up on top of each other's. Whoops. Let's see. What was that? Friday and Monday. See, I'm not quite sure what these do either. I have to play with them. There we go. It was the horizontal centers. So I can also line those two up being horizontally, but then you can see now the spaces here and here are not evenly distributed again. So it's not really fulfilling my purpose for this particular instance, but in some instances that may. I'm going to go ahead and deselect that and show you that. Let's see, what do we have? If I hit that right edge again, it lines it right up. And then I can pick these two. I keep holding down my shift key rather than my control key. There we go. And make sure that they are aligned to the right or to the left. Might have been the left for that particular one. There we go. That works better. Now I'm going to want this row to be aligned perfectly too. And so I'm going to go ahead and select these three layers, and I'm going to align them probably from the top edges to make sure they're aligned. And so now you can see how this is all kind of coming a little bit into place, and how you can get things perfectly aligned together. And it's not hard to do, but it does require a little thinking in order to choose which one of the align and which one of the distributes that you'll utilize. But that's why that back button is there. It's always there. You have your top edge to align them all to the highest top edge, or you might want to do the bottom edge to have them align all with the lowest bottom edge. And I showed you how the left and the right works in the horizontal. The vertical would be opposite the horizontal. You would be instead of choosing this one and this one, you might choose all three of them this way and choose the vertical. You would highlight them horizontally and choose the vertical, if that makes sense. It's kind of backwards. You have to almost play with it and watch what it does in order to learn how to utilize these. But if you have any questions, certainly ask, and I hope you learned a little bit today.